Hello. Can you please keep quiet and listen to me? I think we had a discussion on 24 consonant sounds, 8, what do we say that, diphthongs and 12 vowel sounds. Discuss करचे कि नहीं? कौन 24 जो consonant sounds रे कौन आमे discuss करतले and कोबली भाବରେ सेटे segregate हेतला 24 रे plosives, fricatives, then after affricate, nasal, right? Then semi-vowels and lateral, right? So, plosives ketta tila, thota, then fricatives ketta, now nota, right? 9, and affricate, 2, and nasals 3, and semi-vowels 3, and lateral edge only 1. So on the basis of that, we can consider there are 24 consonant sounds, right? So plosives, fricative, affricate, nasal, semi-vowel, then after means lateral, right? These are called as different consonant sounds, 24 consonant sounds. Then after we had also discussion on voiced and voiceless. Voiced and voiceless means now any sound that you find out, or any of the letter that you produced, any letter that you produced, and if you find out the vibration is known as a voiced, and any sound letter that doesn't produce any sound is known as a voiceless. Voiced and voiceless, right? So we discussed all these things. Let's move to the next one. The next one is, so we'll discuss about a few phonic rules, or you talk about minimal pairs, right? I'll just discuss a couple of things that you need to know. Minimal pairs, but few phonic rules. If you talk about that, there are many exceptions in English because of the expanse of the language. The rules do apply, however, in the majority of the words. Let's say that if you ask the student to write more examples of their own to better understand the rules, C, capital letter C, followed by what? E, I, or Y. Generally, if you say that ceased, C-Y-S-T, ceased, right? Or if you talk about central, C-E-N-T-R-A-L. So what does it try to tell us? Eta kon kohe chahuchi? Anyone wants to say something? Okay, so whenever we use C as a letter at the beginning of the sentence, by any beginning of the word, so we generally use the term called as a Y, E, or you can say I, E, I, or Y. So second is called as whenever you follow G, right? So at the same time also we follow E, I, or Y, right? Let's talk about that. If you say Gem, G-E-N, Gem, or you talk about Gym, G-Y-M, or you talk about gist, right? So you understand these words that called as a C or G. These are the letter generally carry with a what? Y, E, and I, right? So you may get the question called as a, if you are using the letter called as a C, G, right, then what are the other letter can be carried after them, right? Jodi ame C or G word पूर्वरु यूज करछु बा बिगिनिंग रु यूज करछु ताले हमकु कोन को लेटर तापरे यूज करिवा दरकार. So then third one is called as a, when a syllable ends in consonant, any of the word in which the syllable means sound, right? When the syllable ends in consonant, right? What do you mean by consonant and vowel? We know that there are 24 consonants and vowel is known as a 20 vowel sounds, isn't it? Out of that 12 and 8 segregation. So when any of the word that ends with a consonant sound, right? So what happened? That has only one vowel. That vowel is short. That vowel is short means what? If you're using any of the word. Let's say that the term is called as a fact, right? Fact. So in that case, what do you find out? F-A-C-T, ending with what? Consonant sound. What is that consonant sound? T, right? T, right? And the vowel is what? A, right? So in that case, if a single vowel sound is used, then it should be very short. Short means fact, right? Or you talk about bed, bed, bird, bed. So third one is called as a fish, fish, right? Sh sound is there, fish. Or you talk about spot, spot, right? In that case, t and spur both should be produced. And luck. In that case, what do you find out if you use vowel sounds, one vowel sound in a word and ending with a t or ending with any of the consonant sound, then it should be short sound. Please do remember that. You may get the question when a word would be given in which one vowel sound is present. So they will put the question whether the sound will be short or long. You need to present that it should be short sound, right? So similar to that, when a syllable ends in a silent, when a syllable means sound, ends in a what? A silent E. The silent E is a signal that the vowels in front of it is long. For example, if you talk about M-A-K-E, right? So in that case, the word ending with what? E, which is a vowel, right? So in that case, the previous vowel will produce the long sound. Let's say that if I say M-A-K-E, we find out E is the last one, right? So, and A is the previous one. Then in that case, A should be produced as a long, make, right? In that case, long sound will be there. So, similar to that, gene, G, gene. Or you talk about kite. So in that case, means it will be produced the long sound. Whether you talk about make, or you talk about gene, or you talk about kite, or you talk about rope, or you talk about use. Right? In that case, the word must produce the long sound. Am I clear? Ending with the consonant sound, having one vowel, short sound. Ending with E, having with the previous vowel will be long sound. Got my point? Jo word ending ta consonant sound thibo ebong gotiye vowel thibo, then that is known as a short sound. Jo word ending ta E মানে ভাওয়েল ই সাউন্ড থিব जोटा कि कौन अटे माने साइलेंट अटे कारण आमे जेतेले कहूचे मेक आमे हेटी एमिति कहूने मेकी आमे कहूचे मेक so e is a silent when we say gene we don't say genie so gene so in that case also e sound is silent when we say rope we don't say ropey we say that rope so e sound is also silent so in all these words when you find out the ending letter is E, which is a vowel, जोटा कि silent रहे, so तार previous vowel टा long sound हो, right? But सही बोलिया word उड़ा का means long sound produce करेंगे. Am I clear to this? Now let's go to the next one. That's called the minimal pairs. When we talk about minimal pairs, what do you mean by minimal pairs? So let me tell you the 3 points which have been pointed. The minimal pairs कहले कौन बुझा जाए ना maximum minimal right so minimal must be one and maximum will be more than one right so let's say that pairs of words which pronunciation differs at only one segment right slip and slip or pair and pour now what do you find out SLEEP and another word is called as a SLIP, isn't it? Now, and PORA, and another one is called as a PAIR, right? So, what do you find out? You find out that two two pairs have been given here. One pair is called as a SLWP, sleep, and another one is given as a SLIP. So if you write like that, SLWP, you write it on your note. SLWP. And below that, write SLIP. Now, which of the letters are given? You shall not make them cross. Which of the letter are differ? Right, you make them cross. So in the first part you would find out SLWP. So here the letters like double E, isn't it? And the latter one is called as SLIP. So double E and I both can be considered as a minimal pair, right? So in that case, SLP, right? Both are same. Only thing is called as a double E and I, isn't it? Similar to that, if you talk about pair, PAIR and PORE, right? Here you would find out what PAPA is similar, right? So, but AIR, ORE differ, isn't it? So, in that case, since the articulation of these pairs are very similar, they lead to confusion. So, you understand that pair and po, pair and po. So, only thing is called as a per and per, isn't it? Similar to that, if you talk about slip and sleep. So, in that case, the sounds are same, which are known as a, homonyms. Do you understand homonyms or homophones? That's called as the same sound, isn't it? So let's go for the couple of things. Here it is given a question. Write 10 minimal pairs of your own, especially ones that confuse you to the most. So in that case, we can find out many of the words which have a minimal pair. Looking at in exam also you get some question. The question called as identify two of the minimal pair or called as a write two minimal pair words. When you find out the question like that, you need to focus on pair, pour, sleep, right? Such kind of a term. Where means a letter would be different, right? Sound would be same, isn't it? That can be called as a minimal pair or minimal pair sound. Like here also we find out couple of words like patter, batter, batter, P-A-T-T-E-R, patter, B-A-T-T-E-R, batter. So the minimal pair you would find out pa, right? So pa, both have nothing but called as the two different sounds, right? So, but others are correct. A-T-T-E-R, A-T-T-E-R. Similar to that, you also talk about rope, R-O-P, R-O-B. Now, what is the difference? Pub, rope and rope. You also find out newspaper and observe, right? So, in that case, here you would find out that there is no minimal pair. Newspaper, observe, right? Bur and paper, pub. So, similar to that, pub, turd means what? Time and dime. Time, dime. Tada is nothing but called as a minimal pair. If you can also say great and grade. So what do you find out? Great, G-R-A-T-E, G-R-A-D-E. So tada, right? So outside children, you won't find out outside children. So in this case, when you say outside and children, da, right? So both are called as the same kind of a sound, right? Even you also find out kaga, class, glass, kaga, class CLASS and glass GLASS. You also find out back and bag, BACK, back, BAG. Now minimal pair is called as a CK and G, right? Ka or G. Fairy and very, FAIRY, fairy. The sounds are very and very, VERY. So in that case, verb and off, OFF, off and OV, off, right? So the Prime Minister of India. So in that case, when you say fur and ver, somehow similar. Even after, right? Involve, for verb, after, involve. it's not about that only letters. You also see that the sounds, isn't it? Even mel, nail, worry, vary. So loud and load and also lord. Loud, load, lord. L-O-U-D, L-O-A-D, L-O-R-D. Loud, load, and lord. Right? So similar to that, miss, mass, and mess. Miss, mass, and mess. Right? So in that case, you would find out that miss, mass, and mess. This is something E, A, and R. E, A, R. That can be called as a kind of a sound. Even you also say that cot, C-O-T, C-U-R-T, and C-A-U-G-S-T. Now, do you see that how it is creating a kind of a sound? C-O-T, cot, right? C-U-R-T, cut, right? And C-A-U-G-S-T, cut, right? And C-U-T also, cut, right? In that case, you would find out both are, all these four of the words are nothing but having a kind of a means same kind of a sound, right? Even fair, fear, and far. Fair, fear, far. Now, if you observe that what we can find out here, we find out minimal vowel sound pair. Minimal sound of vowel. Because here we are not using the consonant. Here we are saying me, ma, me. Right. Or you say that fe, fi, and fa. Isn't it? Now, in that case, they make this kind of a vowel sound. Right. Even you also find out wheat, weight, and wheat. Wheat, wheat is called as a W-H-E-A-T. Wait. You also talk about W-E-T, wait. And we also say that W-I-T. Please to understand, when you find out such kind of a words, you can point out then that they are vowel sounds. Minimal pair of vowel sound. Right. So shine, shown, shone, and shown. S-H-O-W-N, S-H-O-R-N, S-H-O-N-E. Right. Even here also you would find out O. Similar to that, bit, B-A-T, or B-I-D, bid, and also bet. Bid, bid, and bet. Bid, bid, and bet. You also find out fill, F-I-L-L, fill, and F-I-E-E-L, feel, or you talk about fell, F-E-L-L. So in that case, they are also creating E, E, and A. Isn't it? Similar to that, LED, LED, LAID, and also LID. So LED is called as a LED, LAID is called as a LID, right? And LAD is called as a LAD. Isn't it? LED, LAD, and LAD. So in that case, A, A, or I, and also A, right? A, I, and A. I. Right. So similar to that, cart. C-A-R-T, cart. Right. C-U-T is also there, cut, which we already discussed, and C-U-R-T, cut. Right. So they also produce some kind of a what? Vowel sounds. So they are known as a what? Vowel sounds. Even pull, and you can also say Paul, right? P-U, you can say P-U-double-L, pull, P-A-U-L, Paul, A-U, and also P-double-O-L. So one is called as a U, one is called as a double O, and another one is called as a A-U, right? So U is called as a U, and double O is called as a O, and AU is called as a O, Paul, right? So these are nothing but called as a minimal pair of what? Vowel sounds, right? So when you talk about pa, ba, ta, da, ka, ga, cha, ja, then after sa, sha, right? So ta, da, ma, na. So these are nothing but known as a W and ba, and va. These are called as a consonant sounds. When you talk about means A, E, I, O, U, or O, or U, or U. So these are known as the vowel sounds. When they use in the words, you need to determine whether they produce vowel sounds or consonant sounds. Only option you will find out that called as whether they produce vowels, whether or they produce consonant sound. How do you find out that? When you see the letters are used, right? Okay. Now let's move to the next one. This is something called as a minimal pair. Please do understand 2 to 3 questions you may find out from this. Next is called as a means word stress or syllable. Word stress. WRD word stress. Right. So कोठी तमे स्ट्रेस पकेबा दरकार कोठी तम साउंड टा बेची हबा दरकार कोठी तम साउंड टा लो हबा दरकार कोठी तम साउंड टा साइलेंट हबा दरकार that you need to focus. So there are two very simple rules about word stress. So two rules are there. One, the first one is called as a one word has only one stress, right? One word has only one stress. ठीक है जी. So, and we can only stress vowels, not consonants. Where do we stress? We stress only on vowels, not on consonant. It means where we find out the consonant, we cannot give, we don't need to give the stress. Let's see that. For example, here it is given a kind of a game activities. Like if you were to clap to the rhythm of every word, you would clap twice for the word water, right? Now, what do you find out? Why you clap 2 times for water? Because wa and ta, right? Water, right? Water 2 times. Why 2 times? Because two means two vowel sounds are there. One is called as a a, and the other one is called as a. Water, right? So that's what ra will not produce. Similar to that, every word is made up of syllables. So any word that you read, you would find out the syllables are there. How do you determine syllables? केमती जानिबा syllables? बा कोठी हमें stress दबा केमती जानिबा? ना जेतेबेले प्रत्येकटी word रा गोटिए means कोन अछि गोटिए ही stress हबो, right? But जदी हमें देखिबा जे more than one vowel is present in a word, then as many vowels you can also give stress on as many times, right? So water has a 2 syllable. So in that case, you can point out 2 times clap. Similar to that, here you would find out 1 syllable, 2 syllable, 3 syllable, right? So if you have a 1 syllable, you can say that what? Monosyllabic stress, right? Or monosyllabic words. What do you mean by monosyllabic? Mono means one, right? Monosyllabic. Similar to that, if a word have 2 syllables, then it is known as a bisyllabic words. What is that? Bisyllabic words. So if you have a means more than 2, then it is known as a trisyllabic words, right? Mono, bi, tri, right? Similar to that, if you find out more than three, then you call it polysyllabic, right? Polysyllabic, P-O-L-Y. So by mono, bi, tri, and poly, right? So in that case, we can say poly means multiple, more than 3, right? So in that case, let's get some examples of monosyllabic. Now, in monosyllabic, you find out hot, H-O-T, right? Or you talk about hat, H-A-T, right? Or you talk about gun, G-U-N, all these 3 letters, right? So, hat, gun, love, L-O-V, right? Or you talk about pen, pet, kin, fill, wrist, W-R-I-S-T, wrist, fun, cup, den, fish, pin, food, run, and king. Now, what do you find out here? You find out nothing but a ending with a consonant sound, having 1 vowel, and therefore it is called as a monosyllabic words, right? Similar to that, second one is called as a bisyllabic. So bisyllabic is called as a listen carefully, right? So because I'm going to ask you at the end of it, bisyllabic is called as a 2 syllable. So in that case, you know one of the example is called as a water, right? Similar to that, you also find out another one called as a pension. 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 Right or not? Pension. So, third one is called as a ration. Ration. Right? Ration. Ration. Isn't it? So, two syllable. One is called as a RAT, then another one is called as a shun. Isn't it? You also find out that joker, right? Joker. Joker. Because you can see that how you are giving stress. Joker. Right? So, even you point out that polka. Polka. So, two sounds. Polka. You also find out stigma. Stigma. Right? Or you talk about waiter. Waiter. Isn't it? Waiter. So, polish. 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 Isn't it? Or you talk about ruler. Ruler. In that case, you would find out ruler. Two sounds are there. Even falter. Falter. Right? So, or you talk about cooker, cooker, or you talk about feline, feline. Isn't it? All these words are nothing but a two sounds, two syllable stress, or two syllable words. Got my point? Now we'll go for the trisyllables. When you talk about trisyllable, how do you know that it's a trisyllable? Now, can anyone tell me that computer? Is it a trisyllable? Yes. Computer. Isn't it? Computer. So trisyllable. Similar to that, if you say government, right? Government. In that case, trisyllable words. You also say that newspaper. Newspaper. News. News is a one paper. Right? News is a one paper. In that case, trisyllable. Isn't it? You also find out that called as a rational. Rational. Right? So in that case, here also RAT, then after ION, then after AL. Isn't it? Rational. Next is called as a offensive. 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 Right? OF. The beginning is called as just means vowels. Right? Then EN. Then IV. Isn't it? Offensive. OFFENSIV, you know. Similar to that, Microsoft. Microsoft. Isn't it? So, Microsoft. 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 So, in that case, these are known as a trisyllable. Right? Please segregate the word into, how many vowels are there. On the basis of that, you can find out whether it's a monosyllabic, bisyllabic, or trisyllabic. Now we'll go for the polysyllabic. Polysyllabic means what? It may contain one, it may contain two, not 1, 2, 3. It may contain more than 3. Right? Let's say that the word is called as a predictable. Predictable or predicable. Right? So this one will be predictable. Let's see how. Pre, DICT, dict, right? And another one is called as ABLE, able, predictable, predictable, right? So predictable. Similar to that, hallucination, right? Hallucination, nation, right or not? So in that case, 4 syllable stress you would find out. Hallucination or hallucination. Right, hallucination. Similar to that, you also find out malnutrition, right? More than 3 syllable stress. Mal, MAL, mal. Then after NU, then after TRI, then TION, isn't it? Or ION. So more than 3 syllable stress or 4. Malnutrition. Even stability. Now see that stability. Right, stability. 4. You can find out that by producing the sound. Stability. Then similar to that, presentation. So presentation. Isn't it? Presentation. Then similar to that, we also say technology. 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 technology, isn't it? So you would find out more than 3 sounds are there. Therefore, it is known as a polysyllabic stress. Got my point? Now, that is what you would find out. Let's see that if I ask you some of the words. Okay, you need to identify whether it is a mono, bi, tri, or poly. Now, can you tell me that the word called as a tier? Is it a mono, bi, or tri, or a poly? Tier, T-E-A-R. Tier, mono, very good. Similar to that finale, finale, tri-syllable, tri, finale, isn't it? So greener, greener, by, very good. So greener, greener. So similar to that, international, 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 right? No, polysyllable, because I is used at the beginning. I is used at the beginning. Therefore, you say E, right? Then after in, look into it. International, right or not? So on the basis of that, we can say polysyllable, right? So similar to that, if you talk about law, L-A-W, law, who will tell law? Array monosyllable, L-A-W, na? One vowel sound. Similar to that, polish, police, P-O-L-I-C, police, bisyllable. Right. Similar to that, you can say fierce, fierce. Right. It's a monosyllabic. Right. So similar to that, roller coaster, poly, roller coaster. So means you find out 2 words. Similar to that, princess, bisyllable. Right. You can say fishing, bisyllable. Then analysis, analysis. Look into it. Maybe small, but having many sounds. Analysis, polysyllable. Right. So similar to that, presentation, poly. Then marker, by, marker. Right. So similar to that, branding, bisyllable. Branding. Right. So advertisements, poly. Right. College, bisyllable. College. Right. So professor. So try. Right. So interview,